Hello, this is Zach from the web team to show you a new feature of the CMS. This particular feature allows you to take a list that you have saved, such as a spreadsheet, and import it so that it creates a nice directory view like you see here. Here's the example of the spreadsheet that I have. You can see on the first column we have a list of names, then extensions, job title, and then the email. And I also want to point out that we have a header with all of the different titles at the top. So let me show you how to get this imported into the CMS so that it can look like this. So let's talk about the data that we're going to be importing. So for this example, I'm using a spreadsheet, and in the spreadsheet I have all of the different names, extension, titles, and emails. What's important though is that I have the names of the columns at the very top. Whatever you have the names of the columns is going to reflect in the columns you see on the CMS. So you can see I have name, extension, title, email. If I go back to my spreadsheet, you'll see I have name, extension, title, email. So you're going to want to name the columns however you want labeled on the CMS right here. So now that we've confirmed that the data set we're going to be importing looks good, I'm going to close out of my spreadsheet. And now I'm going to go to my CMS page. So for my CMS site, I'm going to first add the list modules. To do that, on the left-hand side, I'm going to click on Manage Modules. And then I'm going to click on this button here that says New Module. From this drop-down, I'm going to select Lists. And I'm going to give this list a title. And then click Submit. Now you'll see that on the left-hand side, we have Zach's list beneath the modules. So you'll see that our list is empty. We now need to import the data into this list. So from here, you'll see on the right-hand side, we've got a button that says Import Data. I'm going to click on this. And now we need to upload the spreadsheet that we want to use. So I'm going to click on Choose File. This is my spreadsheet right here. And I'm going to say Open. And then this selection here asks if you have a header row or not. If you do not have a header row with the names of the columns at the top, you would say no. But in our example, we have header rows that have titles on them, so I'm going to say yes. And now I'm going to say continue. So now we're at a page that says list import. And so for this step, we need to now map our columns. If you look here for row 1, we have the name of name. And then if you look over here on the left-hand side, it has enter name for column 1. It has taken the data that we had for that column and automatically created the name for it. So that's why it's important for your data to have the proper name in the first row. If it doesn't, however, you can change it and you can add in a letter or change the word if you want to. However, it may make it more complicated if you have to update that list. More on that in a little bit. So now if we take a look and we look at our column 1, which is name, and then we look at row 2, it has the correct name there. In row 3, it also has the correct name. And then underneath select type for column 1, we can change it from text to number or date. So for our example, it's going to be text. So column 1 is all set. Now if we go down to column 2, it automatically created the name of extension, which matches here. And then it puts the extension in there as well. Let's say, for example, we're going to change this to be number. So now column 2 is all set. Column 3, same concept. There's the name of the title, and you can see that it automatically imports the title in there. Same with the email. So now we are all set and ready to import our data. So I'm going to click on Import. And now you can see that the spreadsheet that I had now is resembled in this list on the CMS. If you want to do a side-by-side comparison, here is what the spreadsheet looked like. So we've got name, extension, title, email, and that's what it looks like on the CMS. Name, extension, title, email. So now that we've imported this list into the CMS, let's talk about how to get it onto our page. So we've created the list. However, this is not published to any of our pages yet. We need to put this onto a page in order for it to be viewed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Content, and I'm going to add that list to this page that I have created. So I'm going to click on this icon here to edit the page. And then from here, I'm going to click on the bottom right-hand button you see here that says Modules. And there is the list that I've created. So I'm going to click on it, and now it's created it on the page. I'm going to click on the right-hand side of this to resize it, to make it the full width. And now let's take a preview and see how this looks. You can see it took that list that we had in our spreadsheet and has now made it into the page. So one of the things I noticed though right away is that it's sorting descending for the name as opposed to ascending. So we'll want to make that change. Let me show you how to do that. So now that we've added that list into the page, I'm going to click Publish. And now that page is all set, with the exception of changing the sort order. So to change the sort order, I'm going to go back to my list on the left-hand side. And then from here, I'm going to click on the button that says List Settings. From here, we can then change all of the settings of the list. So the first one is Show View button. What the Show View button means is if I go back to my list, that's this button right here. If I were to click on one, you can see it takes me to a page and it gives a little bit more information about that person. You can have this on or off from this box right here. So I'm going to choose No. The next option is the default sort column. So what column do we want this list to be sorted by? I want this list to be sorted by name. And then the next option is the default sort direction. I'm going to say ascending. So now I'm going to say Save. And if we go back to our list here, you should see right now it's sorted descending. If I refresh the page, you will see that now it's doing it ascending in the alphabetical order. So we've now taken that spreadsheet that we had and we've imported it into the CMS. We've created our list and we've put our list on our page. Everything is looking great. However, let's say we need to make a change to this list. So if I go back into my spreadsheet, and let's just say, for example, there's been some changes in employment. So let's add in an employee here. So we've added in an employee, and now let's say that somebody has left. So I'm going to delete my name from this list. So we now have a new updated list that we need to show on our CMS. Let me show you how to do that. So first I'm going to click Save to save our spreadsheet and then close out of it. Now, if I come back to our list here, I'm going to go back to the Import Data button and I'm going to repeat the steps that we did earlier. Now, the one big difference that we're going to make is this box here says delete all data before importing. I'm going to check that box and then click on import. So now you can see that we've added in the new name and now my name is removed from the list. So if we go to our page and we refresh it, you can see that those changes have been applied. So you can really keep a list of staff, employees, whatever it is that you're making as a spreadsheet, and then you can upload that spreadsheet and save over top of the data, and that way you don't have to go in and manually edit the individual items in the list or remove columns or add columns. So that does it for showing you how to import data into the list module. If you have any more questions, please feel free to reach out. My contact information will be listed below. Otherwise, make sure you subscribe to the Web Teams YouTube channel. You'll be notified whenever I upload new content. Thanks for watching.